Today, we're going to tackle something almost every single one of us has dealt with, the group project. You know the one. Well, a new study suggests there might be a way to fix all that frustration, to actually make it a powerful learning tool. And you know what the secret ingredient might be? Yep, it's AI.
Ugh, the group project. I mean, just saying those words probably brings back some vivid memories, right? The absolute chaos of trying to coordinate schedules, that sinking feeling when you realize you're doing all the work, those super awkward conversations. It's pretty much a universal experience, but here's the thing. Does it really have to be that bad?
So before we jump into the really cool solution, let's just quickly break down why group projects can be such a headache. And not just for students, but for teachers too.
You already know the drill, don't you? There's always that one person doing like 90% of the work. Trying to find a time when everyone can meet feels like a full-time job. And then there are the free riders, the ones who are mysteriously busy until the very last day. And all of that just makes the final grade feel totally unfair. So, how do we get all the good stuff from collaboration? Learning, teamwork, and communication without all of those downsides? Well, researchers at Singapore's Institute of Technical Education think they found the answer. And it's all about building a much, much smarter way to structure these projects from the ground up.
The whole idea is based on this concept called adaptive scaffolding. Honestly, the best way to think about it is like training wheels on a bike. It's basically a set of structured supports. We're talking things like giving each team member a clear role, doing regular peer reviews, setting up checkpoints that help students tackle a huge project together. It builds their skills and their confidence step by step.
Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting. The researchers took this already proven teaching strategy and they supercharged it with technology. They brought an AI writing assistant right into the mix to act as a kind of digital partner for every single group. And here you can see the actual tool the students were using. This AI agent gave them instant constructive feedback. So a student could ask it to critique an essay, suggest some improvements, or even help them polish their writing. Now, the key thing here is that it wasn't doing the work for them. It was more like a coach, guiding them through the process.
So, the big question is, did it work? Can adding all this structured support and an AI coach actually fix the dreaded group project? Well, let's take a look at the data.
Okay, so the study was pretty straightforward. They compared two big groups of students. First, you had a group of 360 students who did their assignments the traditional way, all on their own. Then you had a slightly bigger group, 379 students, who used this brand new model, a collaborative essay with that adaptive scaffolding and the AI writing agent. And wow, the results are pretty striking. This slide here shows you the core data. On the left, in that before column, you can see how the students working alone did. And on the right, in the after column, you see the results from the new AI-assisted collaborative method. I mean, just at a glance, you can see a major shift in performance. Let's break it down. First off, the number of students getting an A shot up by almost 6 percentage points. That's a big deal. It shows that this new approach was helping even the high achievers do better than before. But it wasn't just about the top performers. The overall pass rate for the entire assignment also jumped by 6 percentage points. It went from 88% all the way up to 94%. And this is so important because it shows the support system didn't just help the best students, it lifted everybody up. The numbers are impressive, for sure, but it's the feedback from the students that really brings the impact home. One student said this: "Working in the group made me less scared to write." I mean, that just speaks volumes about the confidence and, the psychological safety this new method created. Students felt supported, not so anxious about their work. So what about the teachers? Was this a huge pain for them? Nope, it was actually a massive win. They could step in earlier to help any groups that were struggling. Their grading decisions were way easier to justify. And that AI assistant helped cut down on all that repetitive marking. All told, it saved them about 5 to 10 hours of work for every single module. That's huge. So what's the secret sauce here? What is it that makes this system so darn effective? Well, it really just boils down to a super clear, very intentional design philosophy. The success of this whole model really comes down to a 3-step idea. First, pedagogy leads. You have to start with a solid teaching strategy. That's the foundation. Second, scaffolding adapts. The digital tools are there to provide that structured support system we talked about. And finally, AI amplifies.
The technology isn't there to replace the teacher, it's there to enhance and scale up their design, giving every single student that personalized coaching. So when you put all of this together, what you get is a really powerful peek into the future of education, a future where technology actually serves teaching and not the other way around. All right, so let's boil it all down. What are the big takeaways here? Well, first and foremost, the teaching strategy has to come first. It has to drive the technology. And when you do that, this study shows you can improve how students perform, save teachers a ton of time, and create a system that students actually find fairer and more confidence building. It's a win-win-win.
And that brings us to the final and I think most powerful idea from all this research. AI is not the driver. Pedagogy is. Technology serves the pedagogical design. It's just a critical reminder that these incredible new tools are at their best when they're used to amplify great teaching, not to replace it. It really makes you wonder, right? What other parts of education could be totally transformed by this same idea?